In this video, we're going to be looking at adding draft to this part. Now go under features and find draft, and for some reason if you don't have draft in your standard features toolbar, you can always customize the toolbar and add it in, or go over here, right click on any one of these tabs and click on mold tools, and under mold tools you should definitely have draft. So either way you want to grab draft, click on draft, and it's going to first ask us what angle or what taper do we want to add to the faces we select. So I'm going to type in here 10 degrees. And then over here, this is what plane is not going to be tapered, but it's going to be what reference we're going to be using. So I'm going to choose the bottom here. That's going to be the direction of pull. Now that face is not one that's going to be drafted itself. It's just going to be a reference for all the other drafted faces. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose the different faces that I want to add draft to. And then make sure I'm choosing the correct direction. So notice it's facing up. I can also flip that direction here to the bottom, so either way. Click on apply, and then take a look. If we section this in half, what's going to happen? So if I click on draft, turn it off, notice what happened is I have a little bit of draft, and if you look at the top, you can actually see it. It's a little hard to see from the angles here, so maybe we want to go back and increase the draft. So instead of 10 degrees, let's try 45. We should be able to see draft for sure at 45 degrees. But most of the time in an injection molded or any type of other molded part, you're probably going to see something a lot similar to 3 to 10 degrees. Now you can see at 45 degrees, it really pushed out quite far. Now if I go back to that draft, instead of choosing this neutral plane down here, if I chose it at the top, it's going to then push that draft material on the inside. Okay, I can also choose draft again and just choose individual faces. So for instance, this face right here, I'm going to make this one the neutral plane, and then this face here the drafted face, and I'm going to make this 30 degrees and click OK, and you can see I just added a little taper to that one face. So you can choose one face, multiple faces, it doesn't really matter. You can also go back to the original features themselves. So this one here, Boss Extrude 1, and notice I have this little icon here for adding draft. So if I add draft, I can see then I can actually taper that prior to actually creating the feature itself. Now that creates a disjoint feature here because this is slid down now on that face, but you can see you can add taper or draft to any of the features, both Boss Extrudes as well as Boss Cuts. But if you do want to add it as a separate feature, like this draft 1 and draft 2, you definitely want to go up to your toolbar, select draft, and then just add the neutral plane, the angle, and the faces you'd like to add draft to. That's about it for the draft feature. Most of the time, drafting is going to be used for molded parts like injection molded parts, die cast parts, or any other type of molding process that you're going to need to have a little bit of a taper so that the part can come out of the mold.